Hello and welcome for hello and welcome in our episode of suggestions for grade 3 created by Dina Yasser. Let us explain what are suggestions used for. Basically, suggestions are used to influence decisions or actions by presenting alternatives or recommendations. They can be expressed directly or indirectly, and the effectiveness often depends on how they are phrased and the context in which they are given. Suggestions function as a communicative tool to foster collaboration, provide guidance, or simply to offer an alternative. They can be used in various contexts, such as conversation, decision making, processes, or problem solving, or maybe providing a guidance. About shall we? Okay, shall we is a form which we use as a suggestion. We suggest the person to do something. Also, we use shall we or I plus the verb in the infinitive form. So the verb that comes after shall we, it comes in the infinitive form. And as we said before, that the infinitive form is the verb without any addition, without s, es, or ies, or without ded or ied or ing, or even the form in the past. It has to be the form in the present without no addition. Okay, alrighty. How to use it? We have two situations here. The first situation is you see an old woman is carrying heavy bags. If you're seeing somebody who's carrying like anybody who's like older than you and carrying heavy bags, so the thing you're going to do is you're going to suggest that you could carry these bags. Okay, so how to suggest it? You say, "Shall I help you carry your bags?" Or if it's like any heavy stuff, you shall say, "Shall I help you carry these heavy stuff?" Another situation in class, me as a teacher, I have some of my students are bored and we're having like 3 sessions at school. And that's why I suggest for them to take a break. How do I give them my suggestion? I say, "Shall we take a 15-minute break? Shall we take a 15-minute break?" Okay. Example sentences. Here you will say what can you suggest, what you can suggest basically. "I am cold." If somebody says to you, "I'm cold," like he's feeling a little bit cold and the window is opened, you would say, "Shall I close this window?" Can I say, "Shall I closes this window?" No, we cannot say, "Shall I closes," because the verb after shall I or shall we comes in the infinitive form, so we cannot add an s by the end of the verb. So we can only say, "Shall I close this window?" "I'm too tired to cook." I am too tired to cook. Think for 5 seconds. Somebody like your mom is a little bit tired to cook. You could say to her, like your father could say to her, what can your father say to her? Suggest her. What can you do to help her? Like suggest something you could do to help your mom. Let's take the answer. The answer would be Shall we go to a restaurant? This is what your father is going to do. Hence, daddies are all, they don't cook. Like most of the days, daddies cannot cook. So, the thing they can do to the moms when they're feeling tired is, shall we go to a restaurant? Or if you have like enough money, you're working or something but you still cannot work, you're in grade 3 for sure. You can tell or suggest your mom to go to a restaurant. So we say, shall we go to a restaurant? Let's talk about how about. How about can also be said as what about. So, what about and how about are exactly the same. So, we can sometimes use how about to make suggestions to people around. These structures are commonly used in spoken English. As we said, what about and how about have the same meaning, and we can use them with a grunt. A grunt is a verb followed with an ing, and it can be used as a noun in a sentence. So a verb plus ing or with a noun. Let's take some example. In this situation, your friend says he feels very bored today. In this situation, your friend says your friend says he feels very bored today. What would you say? Yes, you could say, how about going to the movies tonight? Or you could say, what about going to the movies tonight? When we say going to the movies, it means like going to the cinema. And instead of saying here going to the cinema, we said going to the movies tonight. How about going to the movies tonight? What about going to the movies tonight? Like it's like a basic suggestion we could say to our friends. How about going to the park today? Like anything you feel like you're able to suggest your friend to. And most of our answers, like if we accept these suggestions, we would say good idea, or we would say okay. So basically when somebody is suggesting something to us, they actually giving us an extra idea. As we said, they sometimes giving us recommendations and sometimes they are giving us guidance. And if they are giving us recommendation or guidance, we would say for them good idea, okay? Or we could simply say okay, and this is like the basic answer that we could say. And if we disagree with them, we could say I'm not sure, because it's not basically disagreeing with them, it's just like you're not sure if you would take their idea, if you would confirm it, if you would do it, whatever, if this decision is the right one, or this is the resolution for your problem. um, so you would say I am not sure, okay? And basically in grade 3, we use good idea or okay, like we accept it. What can you suggest next time? Think about it. I'll ask you in class. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for attending to this online class, grade 3. See you later, alligators, and see you later at school. Bye bye.